Sometimes the people we run with become the cage we live in. And sometimes it takes a single moment, a glance, a whisper, a sermon in a dusty church, a near miss, to break the bars, the mental chains that are holding you back. We called ourselves the 8, not a name we told people, just what we called ourselves. 8 kids, half guys, half girls, who had nothing to lose and even less to fear. The city was our playground. We weren't thugs. We were smarter than that, or at least that's what we told ourselves. But I wasn't smart, not then. I was angry at my mother. She constantly nagged my father and belittled him. He was a foreman for a construction company during the day and a taxi driver in the evening. He earned almost twice as much as my mother did, and still it wasn't enough. She told him he was good for nothing. I witnessed her spit at him. She made him feel small, and eventually she caused him to leave. I was 17 when my dad left. One night I went to bed after hearing his voice in the kitchen, and the next morning he was gone. No note, no goodbye, just silence and a sick feeling in my stomach. Surprisingly, my mom cried for 2 days straight, then turned to vodka. But what did she expect after how she treated him? I was so angry, I told her that over the years she made him feel less than a man and that I would never forgive her. Deep down, I didn't want to, but I had to stand up for my father, so I turned to the streets. That's where I met Jay, Tish, Kevin, and the rest of the crew. They knew pain and wore it like a badge. Jay's mom was a junkie. Tish had been bounced around foster homes like a bad check. Kevin never talked about it, but you could see the damage in his eyes. At first, it was small stuff. Lifting candy, sneaking into clubs, drinking until our brains went numb. But then it escalated, smash and grabs, robbing tourists, breaking into shops through back alleys at 3 a.m. And when we were done, booze, weed, and other things. Let's just say boundaries didn't exist in our world. We experienced each other inside and out, if you know what I mean. Everything blurred and everything was numb. I didn't feel alive. I felt erased. We kept pushing the limits, getting more daring with every job. The Tuesday I remember most, we hit a phone shop. Jay had scoped it out and said, "Easy, in and out, no cameras in the back, 10 minutes tops." We were fast, efficient. We grabbed phones, smashed cases, and were almost out when we saw him, a young guy, probably in his early 20s, clean cut, probably just bought a new phone. Kevin knocked him to the ground, and Jay kicked him in the face. I heard the crack of his jaw snap, and I stood there frozen. Then I ran. We all did. Later that night, everyone laughed. We drank rum, smoked, passed around a half-burned blunt. Tish curled into Jay's lap. Someone turned on music, but I didn't move. All I saw was that guy's face, the blood, the fear in his eyes. It haunted me, and I wanted out. Maybe I wasn't built for this life, or maybe I was just starting to realize how far I had fallen. I barely escaped the police that week. 2 weeks later, another job went bad. Sirens, shouting, flashing lights. I darted into a building, heart pounding, up concrete stairs and through a hall. I didn't even realize where I was until I collapsed into the back row of wooden benches in a church. The smell hit me first. Old wood, candle wax, faint perfume. I almost got up and ran again, but something held me there. There was a man preaching, tall, older, with a steady voice. He was talking about influence, about how the people you surround yourself with shape your life. That's when I saw him, the man we beat. His jaw was still wired shut, and he was sitting near the front. I shrank back into the shadows. He didn't see me, but I saw him, and I cried, really cried, the kind of crying that shakes you from the inside out. If you're still listening, this story is just getting started. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give it a thumbs up. These stories are real, raw, and they might just change how you see the world. I didn't go back that night. The others noticed. Jay sent a text. "You dead or something? We got another job lined up. Don't flake." I ignored it. Then Tish called. What's your problem? You think you better than us now? The guilt ate me alive. I wanted to say no, I'm just scared. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to rot in regret. But I said nothing. The next day I went back to that church and sat in the back again. This time the pastor saw me. So did the man with the broken jaw. He nodded at me, not angry, just understanding. After service, the pastor walked up. He didn't ask my name or judge me. He just said, "I'm glad you came back." And that was it. My absence caused a ripple. Word got around. Jay cornered me outside my block. "You think you better than us?" he growled. "No," I whispered. "Then why you actin' like it?" I didn't answer. He shoved me, hard. Kevin held him back. But then, out of nowhere, Tish fly kicked me from behind. I tried to fight back, but the other two girls jumped in and gave me a brutal beatdown. I honestly thought I was going to die. Jay and the other boys pulled them off. Kevin shouted, "Forget it, she's done." And just like that, I was cut off. No more calls, no invites. They were like family to me, and now they were gone. I was still bitter toward my mother for driving my father away, and now I was in the hospital. I was shocked when my mother came to visit. After everything, she apologized for how she treated my father. She said she was moving away with a guy she'd been dating. I apologized too, and honestly, it felt like a ton had been lifted off my back. I was alone, but not for long. The church people weren't perfect, but they were kind. They gave me food, helped me enroll in night classes, and one woman, Melissa, even gave me a part-time job at her bakery. I told her everything, and she still hugged me. Things went from bad to worse for my old crew. 18 months passed, and one by one, I watched them fall. Jay got 10 years for armed robbery. Kevin got 5 for assault. Tish was caught running a stolen car ring. The rest of them fell like dominoes. And me? God had a different plan for me. From the moment I ran into that church, that plan was activated. I was baking bread, volunteering on weekends, speaking to youth groups. I was telling my story, not to brag, but to warn, to show that no matter how dark it gets, you can still turn it around. One day, I stood on that same church stage and gave my testimony. My hands trembled, my voice cracked. I saw people cry. I saw young girls in the crowd, just like I had been. Empty eyes, tough faces, and I saw them soften. After the service, one girl came up to me and asked, "Do you think I can change too?" I smiled and said, "You already have. You're here." Sometimes it takes losing everything to realize you had the power all along to change your story. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you reflect, do one thing for me. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs hope, and remember, no matter how far you've gone, there's always a way back.